All right. Any anxiety friends out there? So, I was supposed to have a wig delivered today. Actually, it is en route to be delivered today. I paid for the delivery to be at 10:30 a.m. Didn't want to do 5. I didn't want to risk that. I didn't do 8:30. It was a little bit more expensive, but even so, I thought like 10:30 was safe. And this shipment is a bit delayed than the other ones that have come my way. So I have anxiety. Normally what I do when I get a package like this, that's so important. And if anybody's not familiar with wigs, these are multi-thousand-dollar wigs, and more than the cost of it, it's what it means to the individual who's wearing it. I wear wigs due to hair loss. It's like my life in a box, basically. It depends, on the person, I'm sure, but for me, depending on the wig, that is how it is. So it's an anxiety provoking thing. But because I have so much anxiety about this, I figured I would do like an anxiety run through about questions that you can ask yourself that's supposed to help. You don't have to have hair loss or wear wigs for this one. This is about anxiety in general, but this is being done to kill time because today I am having anxiety over this situation. Typically when I have anxiety, I get shortness of breath. My fingers start to swell, turn red. Sometimes it's one hand more than the other, but my fingers aren't normally bright red, but anxiety creates stress, there's histamine release, and within me and within my system, that means for me and my system, I can get red. My face can go completely red. It could be a T-zone red or it could be a full-blown red. My ears can get red, my fingers can swell, my feet can swell, shortness of breath, all of that. It's not unusual for me to sometimes I'll start recording a video and I look one way at the beginning and another way at the end just due to my skin swelling and redness. This is what anxiety can do to the body. I know some people don't think of anxiety as a big deal or what's the big deal. It can be crippling for a lot of people. As a matter of fact, at one point I got specific therapy for this social anxiety because it was so bad I couldn't even go to the grocery store. I would go at 6 a.m., run around real fast to try to get the things I needed and get out of there as quickly as possible to not see anybody. So this was in 2014. Today, my anxiety is over the fact that I have a very important wig to arrive that was supposed to arrive by 10:30. I normally actually wait downstairs for hours for the FedEx guy and greet him at the door, despite the fact that there's a front desk person. I don't want to risk them stepping away from the desk. I don't want to take any chances with this package. I'm basically running to the truck when the box arrives, just for point of reference. So the fact that at this round, my package it's not in limbo, it's en route, but I have this gut feeling it's not going to come today. Despite the fact I did pay, like I said, for the 10:30 a.m. arrival, which is more than the 5 p.m. arrival, which if I'm lucky, I'll get it by 5. That's even more than if tomorrow's a holiday. So if it arrives the next day, that would have been half the price to choose that delivery date. But either way, I wanted to get it as quickly as possible. Like I said, this is something very important to me. So with that said, I just checked right now. Still says scheduled delivery today, but first it said scheduled delivery by 12. That was the first clue. Something was wrong. Also, it was just stuck in Indiana forever. No movement, no nothing. Then when 12 passed, it said end of day. And then now it says that just recently, before I started recording, it said it departed the FedEx location in Indianapolis, Indiana. And I Googled it. It's a 4-hour flight from Indiana to California. So how this would arrive today, I don't think so. So I think I can already feel the heat in my face. And so this is a little bit of a hair loss wig video in the regard of the topic, but it's really more of an anxiety video as well. So if you have any of these things that happen to you, you can see this one's getting pretty aggro right now. You are not alone. Makes you think, though, about if your mind can create these physical manifestations within your system. In my case, the anxiety rises to high levels that releases histamine, giving these almost like allergic responses. What else could it be doing to us? Nothing good, that's for sure. So I couldn't find the original paper that my therapist from 2019 had given me, but there were 5 questions and I was trying to look up 5 questions. I didn't find the exact one, but they were kind of centered around the same thing. So I printed out several here. Maybe we'll just run through them all. I don't know. I've got time apparently because I don't know. My day is allocated to waiting for a wig. It's signature required. This is very important to me. If you told me that, would you rather have your whole purse stolen with all your credit cards, your sunglasses, and $1,000 in your wallet, or you lose your wig? I'd rather my purse be stolen, just for point of reference on this one. That's how important this is to me. And it's not just like a wig. It's not just hair. And like I said, this wig is very personal to me. It's been customized to me. It's not like, and anyways, in Wigland, each one is different. So if you find one that works and you're working on one for it to work for you, losing that to me is greater than losing the purse with the cost of the purse, the wallet, the credit cards, the license, and the $1,000 that was just hanging out in your wallet if it was in there. So it's a big deal. So here we go. Whew. All right. Any anxiety friends out there? Any people turn colors like me? Like I said, this camera is so forgiving on the face. I know right now if I had a lesser camera over there, it would be really showing the redness more. This is like really doing me favors on like my age and on my redness. So because I'm 46. So thank you to Sony and their lens. Can't hide that. No, no, no. All right. Pay attention to your shifts in anxiety, no matter how small. When you notice yourself getting more anxious, that is the time to ask yourself. And I just found this on a website. I think I can go to my history and find out what website it was, but I was just trying to find those similar questions. And I'll put it in the description since there's 2 websites that I got this off of. Going through the thought, like challenging your thoughts is supposed to help in anxiety. And I have to tell you, I haven't done a lot of work in regards to thought challenging. I've done a lot of work in exposure therapy and things of that nature in regards to my social anxiety, but not so much thought challenging. That's more of the lines of what this is. So ask yourself, if you're anxious and your wig is in Indianapolis and is probably not going to arrive today, and you paid for next day shipping at 10:30 a.m. and it's your life in a box, ask yourself, what am I thinking right now? I'm thinking my wig is not going to arrive today, which means that, well, the first thought went out the window that it would be lost, but it moved out of Indianapolis. So we got that one done. So it's still on the move. We still know where it is, but I don't think it's going to arrive today, which means tomorrow is a holiday. Tomorrow's 4th of July. There will be no movement on that, which means my wig, which is really important, is sitting, not like it's going to melt. It's not a perishable, but I don't want it sitting in a box that long and all of that. And I'd rather have it in my hand. So that means it would, tomorrow would be gone, and this whole thing would repeat on Friday, and I would have to begin this process again of waiting for the wig to arrive. What am I thinking is that the wig's not going to arrive today. I will have to wait for Friday, and hopefully it arrives Friday. I had it one time so delayed. I paid for next day shipping. Weather delayed, made it delayed by 3 days, 4 days. I don't know. It was very delayed. So what is making me feel anxious? What's making me feel anxious is that this extremely important part of what I need to, function in this world, which is a wig. This is a wig, of course, is in a box. For some reason, was hanging out in Indiana for many, many hours until recently, and didn't arrive by 10:30 a.m. And instead of being here with me, it's there. The other part that's making me anxious, even if this was arriving on time about the arrival of a wig, would be that the alterations that were done, which I did see them yesterday on FaceTime with one of the people that works there, but not, again, it's not in my hand. You can't see everything clearly on camera. Is it going to be exactly as I wanted? Am I going to be really happy? Am I going to be disappointed? Like I'm always waiting for the other shoe to drop. That's probably part of my anxiety as well. Like my autobiography would be called The Other Shoe, because I'm always waiting for the other shoe to drop. And I feel like a lot of people don't live that way. I live that way, but I've also had a number of things in my life happen where it was literally the other shoe dropping left and right, including getting a second hair loss. In addition to the one I've had since 1999, which was female pattern baldness, getting an inflammatory alopecia in 2022. So, but it's not just that. I just like, things go wrong. So I tend to live in this state of catastrophizing, I guess that's what they call it, that something's going to go wrong. And when something actually goes right, it surprises me. Instead of me expecting it's going to go right, I expect it's going to go wrong. So in addition to the delivery of the wig, the actual delivery, it's the idea of how is it going to be? And the thing with that is more work can be done to it. I know that the vendor can do whatever I need to help modify it more, but how is this going to be? Okay. That is the thing. Am I going to be happy? Is this going to make me really, am I going to be disappointed? Am I going to be relieved? I don't know. Anyways, that's what is anxious about the actual opening up of the box and seeing what we have in there, is that part of it, that there's, the unknown, because I won't know until I see it on my head. Okay. So we have the delivery part not arriving today. And then the other anxious part of, is it going to be exactly what I want? Or will more work need to be done? In which case I should tell myself, I know know that more work can be done to the piece. So to slow your roll, calm down, take a breath, and know that this can be continued to work on. Okay. I have my tracking over here at FedEx. Let's do a FedEx refresh. And since maybe this is a super fast plane, like it's like, and it's like, all right. No. Okay. Still in a departed from Indianapolis, which was better than when it was just sitting there, not saying departed. Departed is an upgrade. All right. What am I worried will happen? I'm worried that my wig won't arrive today. I'm worried that when it does arrive, whether it's today or Friday, or the moment that I do get my hands on it, that something will be off and then it won't feel like, won't be what I want. And then that will be like, having to go through the process to get more modifications done. And, there's that uncertainty in that, or it could be great. I mean, that could also be a thing. I just ordered by the way, if you can actually see any redness coming through on that camera, you have to know how red I am, because this camera does a really good job of balancing that out. So I had to get a new Keurig. Side note here, because my one broke. That was like you have to pour the water in the cup, measure it out. It was like not a great choice anyways, but it broke after like a year and I wanted to get another one. And so when I went to the website a couple days ago, I felt like I wanted one with the holder of all the water, not just like a cup of water. But I wasn't sure if I should get black or stainless steel. And everything I own is basically black. I want black everything. It's all black electronics and, black phone, except my laptop. I went for, silver. But, how will I feel if I get stainless steel? Like, did I make the wrong decision? Like, I wanted to get stainless steel, but I had to live in a state of wondering if I made the wrong choice for like 2 hours afterwards. The point of that story is that the stainless steel looks very nice. It looks better than the black one did, and the machine functions great. So, things can work out. What bad thing do I expect to happen? My psychologist had better questions than these. I don't know where I got this from. So, what bad thing do I expect to happen? I expect the worst case would be my wig would be lost. I don't think that's going to be the case though. But bad thing do I expect to happen? That the wig won't be exactly as I want, and I'll have to continue on with the modification process, and I'll be disappointed. So here are some questions to challenge your anxious thoughts. This is from another website. Am I falling into a thinking trap? Catastrophizing or overestimating danger? A thinking trap. Is this a thinking trap? Well, that's like my life. My whole life is a thinking trap. So yes. What is the evidence that the thought is true? What is the evidence this thought is not true? Evidence that this thought is true is that I've received wigs before that were not as they should be and needed work done. Evidence that his thought is true, that the wig won't arrive today, is that I had a wig, paid for next day and it was delayed like by 4 days. What is evidence that the thought is not true? I've had, wigs arrive that worked, and I've had wigs arrive on time, just not today. Have I confused a thought with a fact? Have I confused a thought with a fact? A thought with a fact? Well, this is all thoughts. None of this is facts, except for the fact that FedEx, you missed the mark of 10:30 a.m. Paid for 10:30, didn't get for 10:30. So that's a fact. But it's not a fact that the wig won't be right. What would I tell a friend if he or she had the same thought? You want to get a mimosa? What would a friend say about my thought? So all my friends know I have extremely high anxiety and, overthinking, worrying, all of that. So what they say about my thought, I don't know, that they would just think this was normal. I don't think they could calm me out of the situation, just to be frank. I don't know what they would say. What would I tell a friend? What would I tell a friend if she had the same thought? What would I tell a friend if she had the same thought? It's possible that this wig could come out completely perfect. It might not, but it might. You might love it. It might be close to perfect. Maybe there's some tweaks you have to do, but it might be everything you wanted. You never know. Probably what I would tell a friend, just not myself. What would a friend say about my thought? Okay, yeah. They would be like, well, that's me. I don't know. Am I 100% sure that blank will happen? Am I 100% sure that this wig is not going to arrive today? No. Am I 100% sure that this wig will not turn out right? No. How many times has blank happened before? One other time FedEx didn't deliver, and several other times the wig wasn't exactly as it should be and I needed to have modification. Is blank so important that my future depends on it? Yes, I just said I would prefer to have my entire purse stolen, which, the price of the purse, the wallet, all the credit cards, my license, a pair of sunglasses, and $1,000 just hanging out in my purse. rather than lose the wig and not have it be right. Now, so is it so important that my future depends on it? In this particular case, actually, yes, it does. I get how they're trying to structure it so that that answer may be a no, but haha, to people who made this list, that's a yes. That is definitely a yes. What is the worst that could happen? The worst that happens is the wig is completely lost, period. So we don't even get to figure out if it's going to work or not. The worst that could happen if it arrives is that it's not correct and it needs more modifications, which there's more cost involved in that and time and shipping and back and forth and stuff like that. And then not get into where the piece, the disappointment of that, all of that. If it did happen, what can I do to cope with it or handle it? Xanax? Probably not doing this challenge right. And if it did happen, what can I do to cope with it or handle it? Well, I have other wigs to wear, and I would just have to go through the process, you know, as I have done before. I mean, I've coped with it and handled it before. It's just not ideal, suboptimal. Is my judgment based on the way I feel instead of facts? It's actually both. It's actually both in this case. So yeah. Am I confusing possibility with certainty? It may be possible, but it's likely. Am I confusing possibility with certainty? It may be possible, but is it likely? It's possible the FedEx won't deliver today, and it's possible and likely that the wig won't be right. I don't know. These probably are not the questions to go through when you're for a wig. But anyways, you know, apply this to your own anxiety of life. So my camera cut out on me. So my camera overheated, just like me, and cut out on me. So where was I? Okay. Is this a hassle or a whore? I'm going to go with, doesn't really apply. It's not I feel like both are not the thing. It's a hassle or a whore. It's more like a whore. So those are the questions. And then this stuff, kind of the same with stuff. What am I anxious about? Is this fear-based or fact or assumptions? What has helped in similar situations in the past? These are all not helpful. How can I care for myself right now? Right now, I can make a video for YouTube and share with everybody my own anxiety struggles, in general in life and in the world, and as it pertains to today and waiting for a wig. That probably, everybody place your bets. What do you think? Will the wig arrive today, which is July 3rd, or not? And I will have to wait till Friday. Everybody place your bets. Will the wig be, 90% of what I need, which would be good. I certainly anticipate it may not be completely all the way there, and that would be okay. I understand that, but hopefully it's mostly where I need it to be to wear it and feel great. That particular wig is very special to me. It came closest to the way my bio hair was, being bio hair, being the hair we're born with, I had very thick bio hair, and that's just very difficult to duplicate in a wig. And I've had many wigs since I started wearing wigs in 2012, but really that was the only one that came close to replicating kind of the way my bio hair felt. This is thin by comparison. And it's just, yeah, so that wig has a very special place in my heart. So I'm just really hoping that, it, is where I need it to be. This says, focus on healthy coping strategies to alleviate your anxiety in the present moment. This can involve relaxation techniques or making a YouTube video. Didn't say that, but you could. Reaching out to a supportive friend or family member. Honestly, that's a toughie on this one. I just don't think, unless you're in it, you're living in this world, that you're really gonna get it. I just kind of have to deal with it on my own in that regard. Taking a break to engage in a hobby, going outside or moving your body, or making a YouTube video. Identifying actionable steps to empower you to feel in control of your emotions. Wow. Say that to somebody with hair loss, as though it's an easy thing to do. Not so easy. But anyways, so that is my anxiety today with the wig supposed to arrive. We hope she is where she needs to be. We hope she arrives today. We do not know. But let's see how my fingers are doing. Did they come down a little bit? No, they didn't really. How are my ears? Is there any redness going on there? I'm like the worst party trick ever. Like I can swell, turn colors, all of this. Like it's not like you can go somewhere and like hide it. Like also sometimes I can actually, my chest can actually get red or whatever. So it can actually show up on my body. It's kind of crappy when you live that way because, most of us want to not show that you can, a lot of us can kind of control that for the most part. But when your body's displaying physical manifestations of this all over you, it makes it a little, gets you a little self-conscious, because you can feel yourself flushing. You can feel yourself swelling. You can feel the heat in your hands and in your feet. And all of a sudden your shoes are too tight. It makes it difficult to be, dealing with your anxiety as your body is literally betraying you and, going all out. But such is life. This is something I've lived with for a very, very long time. And I work to improve it all the time in different ways. Like I said, mostly exposure therapy for my social anxiety. But the thought challenging aspect of it, I haven't really worked on. Obviously, I'm not very good at that. There's probably merit to that in helping to calm your thoughts and not let them run away from you, as this day has been devoted to. Right now it's 228. This has consumed my entire day, and it will until we get the answer of whether or not this package will be delivered. We open the box. That's a whole other thing in itself, figuring out what's what. So sometimes I just stare at the box and I don't open it for a while because I'm scared that I'm going to open it and I'm going to be disappointed. It's like I said, I always live with the idea of the other shoe dropping. That's just me. Maybe I'm alone in that. I wish I wasn't that way. My life would be a lot easier. But I thought I would share that with you guys and send my love to all of you. And I hope you have a less anxiety-filled day than me.